Hi everyone!
Hi!
It's the Candid cousins again. It's been a while since you saw us.
Yeah, we did post a couple vlogs just recently, but it was like from a long time ago, from our Europe trip actually.
Click here to watch our vlogs. So obviously we have some experience with traveling in Europe, and so watching all of our old vlogs over, there were some things that we realized that we did really well and other things that maybe we could have improved on.
For sure.
So we just wanted to share those with you in case you are planning a trip to Europe. Definitely start early because it makes a huge difference. We actually planned it 3 months in advance.
Definitely start looking into how realistically picturing yourself traveling within each city within a given time frame.
So the tools that are really helpful for this, Excel sheet. This is what we use to plan out all of our expenses, especially the big ones. Our accommodation, our flights, any transportation that we're planning on doing. And then that made it easy for us to also switch things around if we needed to. And then the other thing is Google Maps. Google Maps is so good for planning a trip.
Yeah, and we also use Google Sheets because we were abroad, so we just kind of did all these constant changes online, so it was really good. But with Google Maps, what we learned is that you can start places, you can even categorize each location on where start your Airbnbs, your hostels, all the things, make sure they're on the map to ensure that you can find them when you actually get there.
Figure out what things you enjoy doing the most. So some people like going to a new city and exploring the nightlife. Some people like the art. Some people like the food. Be honest with yourself. There's so much to do in every city, and Europe is a big place. So that's gonna affect maybe even the destinations that you choose to go to.
And if you have trouble figuring out what to do exactly, there's actually a lot of great resources out there. For example, there's YouTube, there's blogs, there's Pinterest even. Actually, I found a lot of great places that we wanted to try through Pinterest actually. So honestly, just take your time. If the glory starting early is to take your time to research, and it's the fun part because you're just thinking wow, I could do this, I could do that. So I get really excited. You get a lot of my messages, I'm just let's do this now. Honestly, sometimes when we do schedule, don't schedule to the minute or even by the hour. Just have a relative plan on what you want to do. And what we learned from our trip to Barcelona was pre-booking tickets was really great, but when something happened that pushed us behind or just out of schedule, it ruined the entire day. And that was something we learned really quickly, and so we kind of played it by ear a lot. We're the type of travelers where we kind of just explore the city on our own, and when we see something we like, we kind of just do it, right? Granted, some tickets are more affordable if you book them early, which is fine, but you just got to be understanding to really make that time. It's very important to finance very well. We actually didn't do very well on our first week of traveling. We pretty much spent a lot more money than we expected. So it's always good to finance yourself and just being able to budget throughout your travels.
Your budget is kind of more like a goal, sort of the ideal amount of money that you'd like to spend somewhere. But know that there might be emergencies. There might be things that you find on the fly and you're I really want to spend money on this. This is really awesome. I'm never gonna have the chance to eat this food or buy this thing or go on this adventure. Budget for the things that you can save money on. For example, we're going to talk about later Airbnb, accommodation costs and transportation costs. Those are more set in stone, I'd say. And then everything else, make sure that you have some cushion on either side. And then if you end up spending less than you thought you would budget, then you have extra money.
Use Charles Schwab. It's another bank that you can actually apply for. It's really easy to get a debit card, and pretty much it just waives all the exchange fees. You can use it anywhere. We've used it in every single ATM out there in Europe and even in Morocco, and it worked for us. So it's something you can definitely look into. It's actually an investment banking system, but to open up a savings account is actually completely free. They even give you 1% interest, which is pretty good. So it's a really good deal, and I've actually been using that ever since. So usually after you get off the plane in any country, recommendation is just to go straight to an ATM instead of going to a booth where someone actually charges you for exchange rates, just to save that money.
So again, with the card versus cash thing, I'd say it's really more secure to have a card, but in most of the places you will visit, you're gonna need a little cash because a lot of vendors don't accept card.
We went through a lot of different types of transportation routes.
If you can take an interesting mode of transportation, if there's a certain train line that goes through a scenic route, take it. If there's a boat or something, take it. Just have fun with the transport because it's gonna take
it is just part of the traveling too.
I think we really underestimated how long it would take to take a plane.
Oh man, yeah.
Because a plane ride is only so much time, but then you have to account for getting to the airport, going through customs, getting out of the airport, getting transportation from the airport to wherever you're going. So it can actually take up a huge chunk of your day, and it's exhausting. So make sure you're thinking about that. We were doing things where we would stay in one country for a day, and then fly to the next. And so that took a toll on us, I think. Like it was,
and obviously we were trying to travel like cheaply, so we, instead of taking like a taxi straight from the airport to somewhere, we would take a train or a bus, right, which would take more time and more energy. Overnight buses that take you from one country to another. I think that's a really great efficient way of like traveling, just because you're supposed to sleep anyway, so might as well just travel as you sleep. In a cheap way.
It's so easy. You just have your ticket, you get on the bus, you put your stuff away, and then you get to relax. And usually the bus will drop you off in a more central location than an airplane will. So that's really nice.
Related to flights, when we booked our tickets, which was like maybe 3 months in advance, the thing that we found most useful was Skyscanner. They did a really good job finding the cheapest flights for us with the best time. We found that a great airline within Europe is Ryanair. Granted, it's not the best airline out there, as in like accommodations aren't the best, and sometimes they're a little late, sometimes they're just like really stressful sometimes, but honestly it's the cheapest flights we ever found, and I think like if you're on a budget, it's a really great airline to check out.
Sometimes these airlines can actually let you check in before you go to the airport and do that online, which makes things a lot easier for you. You just print out your boarding pass at home and then you get through the lines. But still go to check-in and show them your boarding pass. We had an experience.
I don't remember where this was. Was this in Amsterdam or in Madrid?
I'm pretty sure it was Milan.
Yeah, I remember because we waited in a long line for us to go through security, and then right before we had to go through, they were like, you didn't get this verified. And we were just like, are you serious? But luckily we came early, so we had enough time to go back and like get verified, and then we kind of cut through just because we were like, we waited for so long. But yeah, that was something we didn't know.
Previously when we went to airports, all we had to do was show our boarding pass and they showed us through. So yeah, just be prepared and be as prepared as possible. So if you can do something beforehand, definitely do it.
Yeah, because you never know.
Walk through the cities that you visit. It's really cool to kind of be a part of the city life, to kind of feel like a local, and sometimes it's even more efficient. Like maybe it takes less time to walk than it is to like take a bus or something.
And like the last thing you want to experience is just traffic in a city that you don't know, and you're just wasting most of your time in like your vacation on the road, which just sucks. And like a lot of times for me and for Kara, when we walked around, we found lots of shops. We discovered a lot of things that we really enjoyed by walking through places, like like Christmas markets. You know, like you can't really just stop a car and be like, hey, hold on, just drop me off.
Yeah,
I mean, you could, but you know, we just walked there. You know?
Yeah.
It's just really great. Granted, it was really cold, but I don't know, it was really good.
It was fun, and we'd like see cute houses and be like, oh, I want to live there.
So if you need to go to the restroom in Europe, I mean, this is just a hack that we discovered, but going to a McDonald's,
you can definitely count on finding a McDonald's in any city that you go to, and you can also count that they have pretty clean bathrooms.
Yeah, and pretty nice food too.
So this, I think, more applies to the winter when we were traveling, but also just like anytime you're going anywhere. Bring layers. Layers are a lifesaver. Bring an umbrella. It sucks to be caught in rain.
Especially if you have like a giant backpack with you and you're just traveling, just walking around. It just sucks to be drenched at the same time. So.
This happened to us, by the way, real life.
If you remember in their Barcelona vlog, that was like a really horrible start. It rained on us. It was awful.
Yeah.
But lesson learned.
Make sure you're wearing good shoes.
Oh yes, for sure.
Like if your feet are dying, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, and guaranteed. Because if you're walking everywhere, you just need to have that support. Like, when we were in Atlas Mountains, we did not prepare for snow. So like, obviously do your research. That's also another thing. But I remember just cars like sliding down everywhere with like no traction shoes.
My boots were so slippery.
Along with shoes, like having good shoes, you need to have a good backpack.
And pack light. So if you only have a backpack and you're traveling for a week, we didn't even bring that many changes of clothes, to be honest. We shared a lot of our clothes. We would just like, so that we didn't look like slobs, you know, wearing the same
in our vlogs, looking as if like we just like wore the same thing every single day.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which leads to like the segue of like traveling with a pair, and I think like it was really nice that we traveled together, because first of all we shared everything. Yeah. We shared food, we shared clothes, and I think that saved a lot of money as well.
It's nice to have someone who has your back when you're traveling, and also to kind of enjoy the whole experience together.
Yeah, exactly.
So one tip that we have for you is to always keep a paper copy of everything. Since like you never know if you're gonna drop your phone, if your phone's gonna run out of battery, if your phone just like decides it hates you.
Speaking of phones,
portable charger is a lifesaver.
They really do save your life. I just know that sometimes if you do get lost somewhere, it's always having that insurance of knowing that you still have enough batteries in case you need to call someone / like look things up. We used the company called Three, and we got this like starting from London before we started going to Europe. They have an amazing offer where you can have, I think it's like 3 gigs of data, right?
12 gigs of data.
Oh, just kidding.
They have different plans, but
yeah.
ours we did 12 gigs for £20 a month, which is
really good. Like we only traveled for 3 weeks max, but it was plenty of data for us to use, whether it's navigating through Google Maps or just like looking things up on our email or whatever, or even just using social media. It's a really great, I think it's the best so far I've seen, like 12 gigs for only £20.
Airbnb is amazing!
That was just in our notes, that's why we said that. But yeah, no, but seriously, Airbnb is amazing. Not because like, it's like everywhere now in Europe, but it's also like it's very affordable, especially if you like look really hard on like finding the good deals. When we book Airbnbs, we like there's a couple things we considered: price, availability, accommodation, proximity it is to where we want to be at. So that's very important because we do want to walk everywhere.
You get the experience of like feeling like you actually live there because you're in a house of someone else who does
and people
live there.
are really nice. Like I remember Kara's birthday, like our Airbnb host actually gave us some wine for her birthday.
It was so
It's really sweet.
Pack as minimally as possible. It makes traveling a lot easier, and you can always buy things when you get to the place that you're going to.
Very true.
So even basics like soap, detergent, that kind of stuff, sometimes your accommodation will even have those for free. So don't pack stuff that's unnecessary. Don't spend money on stuff until it's really, really necessary.
Oh, and speaking of convenience stores, always buy a bottle of water. Because I remember they have really big liters of water that we would just carry around. It's like so useful when it comes to traveling because you get dehydrated really quickly.
Yeah, and sometimes you can't trust the quality of water, so
yeah,
get the bottles.
They're cheap, very cheap. Okay, so when we went to Europe, I mean, this was during the Christmas time, so there was lots of Christmas markets where they have a lot of, fresh food, personal small businesses sell their own little like pastries and stuff. So honestly, just like eating street food is really something that like we really, really enjoy just because, it's part of their culture, it's part of part of the city, but it's also, it's pretty affordable. It's pretty affordable, and I mean, like, why not? You're not going to eat this kind of street food anywhere else.
But if you're going to shows, especially during the holidays, make sure to book your tickets ahead of time because they will sell out.
We definitely got so many recommendations from the hostel owners or the Airbnb owners about, what's good there, like restaurants and like sites to see, recommendations on how to get there.
Buy things that are special to the location where you're at. So avoid like chain stores, avoid even like souvenir shops, honestly. Those are mass produced. Try to find maybe local artisans if you're going to get anything from there.
Just being there and meeting the actual artists and seeing that, a really great way to get a piece of that city with you.
So you don't have to be like fluent in the languages.
No, I wasn't, for sure.
Yeah, but it's really nice just to like prep yourself and know a few basic words and phrases. This will help you connect with the locals there. You can feel a little bit more secure, I guess, if you're like lost or something, you know how to ask. We have apps nowadays like Google Translate, things like that, but nothing beats being able to just like go up to somebody and ask them a question or like say hello or like say thank you in their language, and a lot of the times they really appreciate that.
So along with that, before you visit any city, it's always good to understand the history behind the city itself, like understanding, political, religious, or any kind of historical fact about it, just because when you visit a city, like it could be just any city, and then you instantly kind of understand like how it came to be. It's just really nice to immerse yourself into the full extent of the country, and I feel like once I learned a little bit more about art or about like the culture, it just became, the experience changed for me when it came to visiting those actual countries and cities. And if you want to get more education on like the cities, there's lots of resources online, but when you do visit the cities itself, some cities have actual walking tours. So as you guys saw in our Amsterdam vlog, we actually went on a Sandman tour. It was free, it was completely free, and we just pretty much learned all about Amsterdam because I don't think I've learned a lot about Amsterdam. I just knew that they had canals, but they were very, very educational about like the history behind it.
Something that you should know is that you don't have to spend money to have fun. So really avoid expensive tourist traps and things that like make you spend money just to make you feel like you visited a place. You don't have to do that. Walk around, take photos, sit down at a park, listen to street music. Those things are all free.
Yeah, and it's also part of the experience of living in that country. Last of all, make friends, you know, like whether it's through a hostel or Airbnb or just like walking around and just seeing people and, you know, saying hi. I think that's just so much more rewarding. I mean, I remember we just sat in a little coffee shop in Madrid and a VR guy came and gave us a VR experience, and we just talked, and it was really fun. And like, that's just something I will always remember, you know?
Like in Morocco, we met a whole bunch of people. They all had really interesting stories, different life backgrounds, different traveling experiences, and it's just fun to like converse and hear stories about people.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even have to be people that like you keep in touch with after a while, but I think it's just like you need to just open yourself up more to these strangers that, you know, have stories to talk.
So with that, I think those are all the tips that we have for you for traveling. Good luck on your adventures.
Yeah, if you have any more questions, feel free to leave them down below.
Until the next adventure, bye!